What's up, what's up? So I've had a request to do a video on intake. I guess, calorie intake. So I actually don't have so as you guys may know, I am certified in fitness nutrition. Computer, I tell you what. And we are taught fitness math. Meaning there's certain calculations that, am I logged in? We do to figure out caloric intake for weight loss, and caloric intake for maintenance, and caloric intake for weight gain, whether that's muscle or even fat in some cases. Sorry, I'm trying to log in so I can show y'all this math. So the thing is that is exactly what my FitnessPal does for you. And it's also what I did. Stop being an asshole. It's also what the 21-day fix calculations do for you. So I think I've already talked about this, honestly. I think people have heard me talk about it before. I'm not sure. So because I had the request, though, something I've learned very much with my own journey and nutrition and health and fitness, as well as everybody else's, is that sometimes we just have to hear things repeatedly. I'm for real one of them, especially when it comes to anything that involves a number. So I'm just going to go into it as if I've never stated any of this before. And I probably even have a new level of understanding that I didn't have before as well. So I'm actually going to use 80-day obsession math as an example. And the reason why I am is because, again, this math that you fill out, and some of you may not have done any Beachbody programs, so you won't know, and I'm gonna go over it. It is what we're taught to do. It's what my FitnessPal does for you. I've already said that 5 times. Whatever, y'all are used to me. So let's see. Starter guide, maybe. Don't download it. Just open it. Okay, so you calculate your caloric baseline first. And what that means is how much food, how many calories do you need to consume to be just existing? Meaning sleeping and being alive. Right? Not even cleaning the house, not even working out, not even working. You just sitting here chilling out. Now, it does take into account, especially with these calculations for 80-day obsession, 21-day fix, body beast. So what you do is you take your weight and you multiply it by 11 if you're inactive, and 12 if you're extremely active, I think is how they do that. So that is how you know your caloric baseline, which is your resting metabolic rate. So let me explain. Calories, the definition of a calorie is energy. Calories are actually energy. It's fuel. It's gas. Like, that's for real. That's not just a metaphor. That's legit what food is. It is intended to keep you alive and keep you moving. Just like if you don't put gas in your car, it dies. It's not just a metaphor. It's like legit. Like if you go to another country and you read labels, it doesn't say calories. It says energy. At least it did in Punta Cana in Jamaica when my friend went. So anyway, then you calculate maintenance calories, meaning if you weren't trying to lose weight. So for an 80-day obsession, they do plus 600. So like, I don't have a calculator, but you multiply your weight times your activity level, either 11, usually it's 11 or 12, and then you add 600 calories for maintenance, meaning I don't want to lose weight, I don't want to gain weight. Then, if you want to lose fat, you have to create a caloric deficit. So this is where things like MyFitnessPal are kind of guesstimating. Things like 80-Day Obsession have to guesstimate. This is where any program really has to guesstimate, because if you aren't wearing a heart rate monitor that tells you your calories burned, then you don't know exactly how much of a deficit to eat. On top of that, even then it's kind of a guess, because the heart rate monitors, come on, you know, it's none of that is going to be 100% accurate. It's just not. And the most accurate, and we did an experiment when I worked at Snap Fitness, the most accurate are the kinds that go here. More than anything else. More than a Fitbit, more than any of that, because it's right there where your heart is. But anyway, so 80-Day Obsession, because it is such an intense muscle building program, and it's for most of the time it was an hour long, the deficit is 750 calories. So you would subtract 750. These deficits, these caloric deficits, are planning to put you in a weekly deficit, in a cumulative deficit of 3,500 calories, so that you can lose a pound. So you have to be in a deficit, a caloric deficit, meaning consuming and burning at least 3,500 calories less to lose a pound. Okay, so anyway, and then you have your calorie target. So everybody's different. I really learned so fucking much when I was in the 80-Day Obsession test group with Autumn, because she would go in videos and be like, okay, so you think you need to lose fat because you have this little bitty roll, right? And literally, this bitch was a bitch. Like, she don't play. And she don't play. And she would be like, so you're eating in plan A, which I can't even remember, is 1,200 calories, right? Yeah, 1,200 to 1,500 calories. But yet you're hungry. You're legit stomach growling, cravings, things like that. Well, then you need to go up to plan B. So, I feel like this is not making enough sense to you guys. That's why I keep hesitating. So let me explain. For me, if I was to be trying to go into weight loss, okay, then I did that math, then I would be in plan A, 1,200 to 1,500 calories. So that's why I experimented with MyFitnessPal, is because I wanted to see, even with following these containers, if I was actually hitting the allotted calories that I should have been. So I stuck with plan B. I learned very early on that eating 1,200 calories for me was way too little because of my activity level. I'll explain that more in a minute. So I knew I needed to stick with at least plan B. My maintenance calories, if I was not losing or gaining, would be plan C. If I wanted to gain muscle and pack on muscle, I need to go up to even plan D. So plan C, okay, so I keep forgetting not everybody is a beach bodyer. So plan B is anywhere from 1,500 to 1,800 calories. Plan C is anywhere from 1,800 to 2,000. 1,800 to 2,000. Plan D would be anywhere from 2,100 to 23. So you see Christy, who's doing 80-Day Obsession again. And, I mean, it's hard as balls. If it wasn't hard for you, if you did it, then you didn't do it right. You didn't lift heavy enough. So anyway, she is starving, sitting in Plan B. I'm doing CrossFit. So CrossFit 3 days a week, which is kind of a mix of cardio and weightlifting. And then I am doing at least one more day of intense lifting. Like today I'm going to do a booty day of 80 Day Obsession. And then somebody keeps fucking calling me. Stop it. I'm trying to do a video. I already know who it is. Anyway, and then I'm doing, so really I'm doing 1 day of cardio. That's it now. Like my life has switched from constant body weight exercises and cardio to more lifting more than anything. And I'll explain that a little bit more. So my muscles are trying to grow because I am legit breaking them down and repairing them each day. That's how they grow. The only way they can continue to grow is if I fuel them appropriately and I recover them appropriately. So that is why I'm like hungry sitting here. And so when I did the math, like I experimented in Plan B with the vegan meal plan and then with the regular. When I did the regular, I was sitting still at like 1,200 to 1,300 calories. When I did the vegan, I was sitting between that 1,500 and 1,800, and I wasn't hungry. So I think it's a little subjective with these container meal plans how much you're actually eating. So what Autumn would stress is you need to learn to listen to your body. So I learned really quickly not really quickly. Why am I saying really quickly? Is that a habit phrase? Because it wasn't really quickly. This bitch took years to learn this shit. And I also had to read that book, Brain Over Binge, at least twice to learn that my body wanting to binge eat, with the exception of when I was using mind-altering substances. But if I was getting urges to binge, not just cheat, okay? Not just a craving for a cupcake that I see at work. I'm talking about uncontrollable, like, bitch, you need to eat urges. And then once I did, it was like, you go into this state of almost like meditation. Like literally when you're binging. I learned though that was my body saying, bitch, you're not eating enough. I'm hungry. And I'm going to send you these survival messages to tell you to eat. So, when you eat too little, on top of working out, your body's going to tell you. And that's what causes the yo-yo, okay? When you eat too little, and you get those, and you're restricting, you lose weight, you're like, yes, I look good, I'm great. And then you get these uncontrollable urges to binge, or to cheat, or to overeat, even if you don't have binge eating, right? These uncontrollable urges, then you end up stuffing your face, and then falling off, and then feel guilty. Falling off, feeling guilty. Falling off, feeling guilty. Gaining. I want us to preface before I go any further that this is for normal populations, meaning I don't have hormone issues. I don't have hypothyroidism or hyper or Graves' disease or like Molly's dealing with adrenal fatigue, things like that. I want to stress, I'm going to use Molly as an example again. A lot of the things from what I'm reading, okay, I'm not an expert at this by any means. But a lot of what I'm reading about adrenal fatigue and hormone imbalances, besides just what you've been consuming it being an issue, is over-exercising, not resting enough, stress, and not eating enough, restricting. It gets a little hard if you're a person, I'm not going to lie, and I even heard, I'm having a little conflict of interest with CrossFit Music City right now about this, but I've even heard Rebecca, when she was talking to someone, you kind of have to eat when you're not hungry. Initially, you have to learn to eat when you're not hungry. Because we get into this trap of eating 3 meals a day, right? And sometimes those 3 meals are just a protein and a vegetable and a carb. And then you're like starving. So then at 10 o'clock at night, you're raiding the refrigerator when everybody else is asleep. Or maybe you're sneak eating in your car. So if you're really, really intensely working out, you just have to eat more. And so that's why you see Team Pink Pineapples, going up to Plan C. Because we're both working so hard and we're active otherwise. It's not just the workout. Like in life, we're active. Mostly. So that is not even to talk about another subject. And I know I've said this over and over and over again. And I'm not saying that as I'm impatient with explaining it. I'm just saying I'm sorry if I sound repetitive. I just have been told that people need to hear this. So if the more you weigh, okay, the more you need to eat. With the exception of, like if you watch my 600 Pound Life, those people usually are put on a 1,000 calorie diet. I want you to realize though they're not moving at all. Right? They're also in a very, very life-threatening state. So getting that weight off of them really quickly is extremely important. But in the case of everybody in here that is overweight and weigh more than they want to, if you are trying to eat 1,200 calories and sit in that Plan A and restrict your carb intake and restrict your fat intake and then work out, your body is not going to function appropriately. Think about it. So Terry drives a Dodge Ram, I think. He has a V8. It's muscle. Yeah, like it's a big old car that he drives all over Nashville. My mother drives a Nissan Cube. I'm using this as a metaphor because or an analogy, I guess, because it applies. I mean, it's so just like our body, right? Mom's Nissan Cube costs. Mom, how much does it cost to fill up your gas tank? How much does it cost to fill up your gas tank?
I've never put more than $20 in it, so I've never filled it from empty.
Mom never fills it from empty because she's smart. But that's true. She can't stand to go to eat. But anyway, so she usually puts about 20 bucks in it. And that little thing will get all over town because it barely will get up and go. You know what I'm saying? It's a small little car. Terry's truck has a larger engine. I think he puts 50, 60 bucks in there. My car, I have a V6. It's a sports utility vehicle hybrid deal. It's got a lot of get up and go. I usually put, depending on America, $40 to $50 in there. So anyway, my point is, it takes more of that fuel, gas, energy, for me and Terry's cars to move and function than it does my mom's. So I'm going to use, so let's say where it takes me about 1,365 calories to just function. And I know this exactly, and I'll explain that in a second. It probably takes my mom about 1,000, maybe. Because I weigh more, and because I move more, and because I have more muscle. So that's another key with people that are severely overweight that they don't think about. That you don't think about if you're watching. Ironically, and probably you don't realize, the more you weigh, the more weight you carry, the stronger your body is, actually, because it is actually holding you up. So in most cases, well, in some cases, again, my 600-pound type of life people not applying. Actually, people that are, let's say, a 300-pound frame that are moving every day, you know, not just laying in bed. You have to have more muscle just to move your body than I do. So that means that your body is burning more calories or using more energy to function daily. So, in order for you to just function daily without the exercise, you have to eat more. Just to function daily. So, it's not just like the whole, I think it's so much easier to explain it as if you starve yourself, your body holds on to fat. But it's really even more scientifically complicated than that. And I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain it. But, okay, for example, a lot of gyms will put people on, or trainers that don't really know about nutrition, or even people going it alone will, you know, restrict. They'll be like, I'm going to be low fat, low carb. And I'm just going to be protein so I can lose this weight. Or I'm going to use my self-example. I'm going to do the countdown to competition meal plan and I'm going to carb cycle. Or I'm going to do a keto diet and eat high fat, low carb, and moderate protein. Or, so let's say you do that for an amount of time. Let's say 3 weeks, 6 weeks. And then whatever you were wanting to lose weight for happens, whether it's a wedding or a vacation. And so you go on this vacation and you eat all these high carby foods and all these high fat foods. All of a sudden, you blow the fuck up. So that up and down system that's going on ruins your metabolism. So then you have to reverse diet. This was one of the reasons why I used Brittany as an example, because her trainer, bless his heart, her trainer does not believe in eating for health. He strictly eats for calories. And I'm just, whatever, everybody a little different on that, and his method fucking works. I ain't even gonna lie. So, let's say, if I was to go probably work with her newest trainer, his name's Dwayne, I think. That mofo would probably have me stuffing my face with food. But if I've been eating 1,200 calories, if I all of a sudden start eating 2,000, hence when me and Christy and Susan were doing Body Beast, you just blow up. Your body is like, what the fuck? And it's shocked and you gain weight, you gain fat. Reverse dieting means, okay, well, let's try eating 1,400 calories for a few weeks. Let's try eating 1,600 calories for a few weeks. Let's try, and that's exactly what I did with 80 Day Obsession. The first time I did Plan B, because I knew if I went straight up to Plan C, it would shock my system and shock my mind, to be completely honest with you, because I still have a hard time with this concept. The only reason I stay in Plan C was because I was following the vegan plan then, and I got so farty that everybody hated me. So, I'm going up to Plan C again with a new method. I feel like I'm not explaining this well. I feel like I'm not explaining it well. I'm wondering if there's anything else I can add to it. I know I'm being silent in the middle of a video that you guys are watching, but I'm just trying to figure out how else I can explain this to where people grasp the concept, because I still see some of you guys in here just eating way too damn little, because your brain can't wrap around eating more for weight loss. And it's like a really, 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 really big pet peeve of mine. And it's not even that. Like, I think people don't realize it because they get stuck on this cycle of eating less to lose weight and then binging. So they're like, I don't need to eat more because I'm binging. Like, that's what I struggle with. Okay, so maybe that'll help. That's what I struggle with. Like, even not binging. Let's just say I was sitting in Plan A and I was starving. So I added an apple and peanut butter. Ow! It's my finger, you turd muffin. So I added an apple and peanut butter that night, right? And then I was like, fuck, I had an apple over my meal plan. I wasn't supposed to eat that. I wasn't supposed to eat the peanut butter. I wasn't supposed to eat the apple. Fuck. So then I'm restricting again back at 1,200 calories, right? But then burning a surplus sometimes of 600 to 800 calories. Not just workouts, but just life. And it would just be this cycle. And so it would be like, I need to restrict because I'm eating too more. I need to restrict because I'm eating too more. When you will actually, like, I'm starting to do it now, but because of my mindset and what I've learned. So, like, what night was that? When I'm, like, texting, and that's also the good part about having a partner. Like, I'm texting Christy, I'm fucking hungry. I'm starving. This is not cravings. This is not willpower. This is, I'm hungry. And so I added a yellow container because most people would add a protein. Not this bitch. So anyway, I guess I would sometimes. I don't know. And then, like, the next day, I'm hungry again. I'm like, dude, I really think we need to go to Plan C. And I ate, did I eat something extra yesterday? Yeah, I ate another extra yellow last night. I came home and ate some new potatoes when I got home. Because I know me, if I go to bed hungry, I'm either not going to sleep or I'm going to get up and eat in the middle of the night and sneak eat. Because my body is hungry. It's not, I think we get so used to the whole willpower thing. Like, I don't have the willpower. And it's not really about that sometimes. It's for real legit survival. So, and I've learned that. So, eat more. I'm hungry right now. My stomach's growling. I hope this made sense. I hope this made sense. One more thing I'd like to add. With the exception of people that are going through a health issue. Again, I'm going to use Molly. She's in adrenal fatigue. She's working with a functional doctor. It's a little different for her. I'm going to use Monica as an example. She has hypothyroidism. She has sleep apnea. That makes things a little different for her as well. Normal population people. I don't give a shit if you're eating high fat and low carb. I don't give a shit if you're eating high protein, low carb, low fat. I don't give a shit if you're eating all carbohydrates and no protein. Although your body's not going to really like that. But I learned this from my friend that Brittany used to use as a trainer. What is his name? I'm blanking right now. Barry. That literally eats for calories. Like, this motherfucker, I don't think he pays any attention to macros. He's a naturally skinny dude. He's constantly trying to put on muscle. This man intermittent fasts, but not because he intermittent fasts. It's because he just likes to eat all his food at night. And he will legit, you can go follow him on Instagram. Dude is eating freaking Pop-Tarts. He's eating freaking those pure protein bars that are nothing but sugar. He's eating bowls and bowls and bowls. I'm not exaggerating. He's binge eating of cereal. He's eating freaking all this shit because for him he has gut issues and he says it clears out. And I mean, I ain't never seen this man ever post anything that was actual nutrition. I was gonna say, it blows my mind. I don't advise that, but it has taught me. And watching Brittany, and when she would put stuff on MyFitnessPal and post it, when it comes to weight loss or weight gain for normal populations, it's all about that calorie, baby. All about the calorie. I don't care what anybody fucking tells you. You can go keto all damn day long. But if you're eating a surplus of calories in keto, you're going to gain weight. If you're eating a deficit of calories in keto, you're going to lose weight. Again, normal populations. It's different. Like, Monica really struggles with losing pounds. But she can sure pack them on fast as day and night because she has hormone issues. That stuff is true, man. I really kind of relate that to Terry. I've seen myself eat 20,000 times more, not exaggerating, in a sitting. Like, I've just sat there and just like, rah, 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 than him. And I may gain 5 pounds of poop. Maybe 5 to 10 pounds of fat if I continuously do it over and over and over. Whereas him, it'll ruin his results in one sitting. So I really believe, you know, everybody's a little different on that. That's why I said normal populations. So it's a lot of rambling. I know nutrition is complicated. I know it's hard. That's why one of my biggest things to people is just eat for health. Just eat when your body's hungry. Like right now, what Elizabeth has got going on, I so support what she's got going on. She's working her ass off in the gym, at home, and she's eating when she's hungry, and she's cutting out fast food. Like, I feel like that's an amazing place to start. I think that the journey she is on is going to show her great results right now. She may plateau. She may need to start changing some more. But for right now, that step is what she needs and needed to take. And I'm so 100% like loving watching that journey and watching her body change. So anyway, don't hesitate, y'all, to ask questions about nutrition. Okay, don't hesitate to anytime talk about this stuff with me. I am not by any means an expert. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a registered dietitian. All I am is a fitness nutrition specialist. And even that was a book and some studying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't write a thesis. All that kind of stuff didn't happen. But I've learned by watching people that did go through that they don't know shit. Like, they don't know shit. I also want to preface that for me, it is important to eat for health more than anything. A long time ago, I took it out of eating for weight loss, eating for weight gain. It's mostly eating for health for me. So I think that's important because I'm going to use Barry as an example. He's not eating for health. He's strictly eating for weight gain, muscle gain. And I mean, that's to each their own. And that's another thing I've learned too, is to realize everybody's going to have different needs, different preferences, all that kind of stuff. I'd also like to bring up Jody a little bit. Jody has yo-yoed with fitness, right? She did a Beachbody program. She went to a CrossFit gym and did a challenge kind of similar to what CrossFit Music City is running. And she saw leaps and bounds improvements in her squirrels, just in her mental state, her weight, by going mostly paleo. I actually kind of support paleo. It's too restrictive for me. I ended up binging, but, and if you look at her, while she's really struggling with getting her workouts in and her balance of that bitch ain't really gained no weight. Just saying. So nutrition is that important. I just want to show that. It's that important. Christy and I'm going to use me and Christy as an example. We both did ADA Obsession to a mofo T. And so, I did it for a T for 3 months and then almost to a T for another 3. And it was like, I hate meal prepping. I hate time nutrition. I don't give a shit. And both of us, like, fell off the nutrition train like a mofo. But my workouts never stopped. And what happened? I started to fluff up. It's all about the food, man. It's all about the food. When it comes to weight loss and weight gain, it just really is. So, I've rambled my ass off for 33 minutes. Jesus. Y'all ain't even gonna watch this. That's a long time. I wouldn't watch it. I'm sorry. I tried. I had a lot to say. I hope this made sense. I'm gonna go work out so I can eat. Love y'all.